day in my life. Of course, I wake up to the dogs and get them some food. You do not need an alarm clock when you have labs that have been trained to learn what time you wake up. They love their food. Vivian is more into the food than Pearl. Pearl wants her treat before she eats her food. So I give them both a treat. These are Whimsies. Whimsies. WHIMCEES. So yeah, they eat their treat. So yeah, I get up, I feed them, and it's even before I go to the restroom, there is Ting Tang. That's what I call her, Ting Tang. I don't even know how that became a name, but every morning when I get up, this is what I see. Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up. It knows it must run faster than the fastest lion or it will be killed. Every morning a lion wakes up. It knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. It doesn't matter whether you are a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you'd best be running. So, every day I read it. Now, obviously, I'm not doing what I usually do in front of that, but because that's what I do every morning, I'm forced to start my day reading that. Now, I've had that picture for 20 years. So 20 years, that is a long time to see that every morning. I don't know that that's added to my motivation, but I think it helps to start the day knowing that you better get to work. Next, we're going to feed the horse. He eats twice a day. And it was early and I didn't have my camera on the gimbal, so I was just holding my phone. I just obviously wasn't used to recording myself doing these chores, so yeah, I get the hang of it after here in a little bit. So yeah, I'm trying to hold a phone and open the vitamin package. Yeah, not gonna be easy, but I set it down and opened it up. But those are his vitamins he has with his breakfast. He likes his food softened, so I soak it in water, and that's how he likes it. I think it makes it seems like more because it's got a soup afterwards, and he drinks up the soup. Yeah, he's interesting. Some people have commented that I need to get him a friend. Well, this horse is old. He's 26 years old, and he does not want to be bothered. He does not do well with other horses, so he was a rescue as well. And he spent a lot of years with a lot of horses being boarded at facilities, and he had behavior issues with other horses. He's just I don't know. I think he was abused. He was a racehorse. He was a standard bred racehorse. There's a drain where I rinse that bucket out. I keep a lid on that keeps the mice out. There are mice in this barn. It's just open, it's just nothing you can do to stop it, really. It's critters like it. There's birds flying around in here too, but so once he gets his food, then it's time to clean out the stall, because he does, as you can see, Vivian is in there eating horse poop. The dogs like it. I don't like that they like it because it makes their breath smell for an hour or so, but unless they eat after. But yeah, it's like a snack to the dogs. But I've always thought, like, if doomsday ever comes, like, I will have Biggie for transportation, so I'll have a horse for transportation. The dogs will eat horse poop. They can stay alive off horse poop, and I don't technically have to feed Biggie the horse food. He could eat just grass. He can stay alive just grazing. So, yeah, then I would just have to worry about feeding the cats, but there is a pond nearby that I can fish from, and I know they would eat fish, raw fish, if they were hungry enough. So then it's just a matter of keeping me alive, and I can stay alive for a while. And after that, I would find a way to survive. I'd eat tree bark if I had to. But for a while, I'll be good. So yeah, this is quite the ordeal. Horses poop 50 pounds a day. And it's been really hot here. So like if it's above 85, he likes to stand in front of that fan and poop in his stall. He doesn't poop outside right now. So he's primarily pooping inside. So literally several times a day I come out here and clean it up. I could just wait, but if he like walks around and stirs it up, it's easier to do when there's still piles. So there is a method to the madness of cleaning stalls. Now he also gets hay, so even though he eats grain, he grazes outside and eats grass, he still gets hay as well. Yeah, he could live without the grain and hay. He could survive, but he wouldn't be as healthy. He likes to take his hay and actually duck it into his water bucket to get it wet and then eat it. Like it makes it like fresh again. Now I'm fast forwarding through filling up these water buckets because there he is eating his hay, because I had like almost 4 hours of footage and I could not make a 4-hour video, so I gotta cut it down to I think this video's a little bit over 2 hours. But yeah, these take a little while to fill up. There's a lot of water, and he drinks a lot of water a day. Yeah, a lot. This is a full jet coming out of here, and if he's drinking while I am filling it up, it actually lowers the water level. That's how much he intakes when they put their lips in the water and just, you don't hear any noise, but it's like a vacuum, and he's just like inhaling the water. It's weird. This is one of those flex hoses that shrinks once you shut the water off. I was using that to prop the camera up. Now I gotta gather the dogs up and close the, if I keep the hay room open, then he will go in there and like eat the hay in there. So I've got to close it up. Oh, I must have found Pearl. Yep. And she wanted her toy. So then we'll head outside. Usually when I let the dogs outside, so they have a big yard where they're fenced in, but they love to come outside of the fence like this and I just train them to like be off leash with me, and if I call them, they come. I will say this, that since I am not working for Toyota anymore, when I was working like 8 hours a week, these dogs are the most well-behaved I've ever had. The other dogs in my past have been just a little bit more wild because they raised themselves because I was working 80 hours a week. But I always had more dogs than 2. I always had a minimum of 3. Usually 4 or 3 dogs is what I had at a time because I worked so much, and I wanted them to be able to take care of each other and have each other. I am getting water right now. I do drink out of the tap in the morning for my Element, LMNT, Element. This is a electrolyte drink. It's just a lot of sodium, and it's like a really tart Gatorade is what it tastes like, but it's like I don't know how many grams of sodium, but it's a lot. And I know like a lot of that there's a theory that we don't like salt is bad, but I believe salt is good. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think it's good. I think my body needs it. I feel better with that in the morning. I do. I have, again, I'm holding my camera. It's because it's early. Like I kind of planned like the day before. I knew I would be filming all today, but just early. My habits in the morning are so routine, like get up, feed the dogs, and I didn't think to put the camera on the gimbal so I could set it up like a tripod when I was recording stuff. So yeah, this is me just mixing that up. And so basically I'm having my breakfast, so I feed the dogs, I feed the horse, and then I feed myself. So that is my hydration drink before I drink coffee. So that is the first thing that I drink or eat every day, is that Element drink. Next, I'm gonna cook my breakfast there. Those are the happy eggs, if there is such a thing, for confined animals, but it's just, maybe we'll talk about that later. But so I got the pan on the stove warming up. I am now just getting, I don't know how, maybe a tablespoon of butter, and I put that in the pan to begin melting. And this is steak I grilled the night before and cut up, and so that will go in with the eggs. So basically I'm having steak and eggs. Oh look, there's Ding Dang. She's definitely social. Yeah. So yes, for breakfast I have 3 eggs and steak. I used to do turkey, and I would like do 3 eggs and then put the sliced turkey on it, and I would still like cook the turkey. But now I started just grilling enough steak at night to where I basically grilled 2 steaks. On one night I grilled 2 steaks. I'd eat one of the steaks for dinner, and then I take the other one and cut it up into strips so that I can use in my breakfast. Now I don't eat a whole steak in the morning, so that Ziploc bag, I do half one day and half the other. So then that next night I only have to cook 1 steak. Again, I'm trying to do these eggs with one hand, and that's just not what I normally do. I normally have 2 hands, and it's like I always crack my egg on the paper towel, because when you crack your egg on the edge of the pan, you I've crunched down on shell way too many times, but doing it this way I never do. So I just drop it lightly onto the paper towel and then lift the crack. It basically cracks the shell but not the membrane, and then I can split it up there. But there are still little shards on that paper towel from where the crack happens. So that's why I'm saying I don't do it on the pan anymore. And so basically on these eggs, I just use salt and pepper, and then I do put 2 pieces of cheese on it. So I am getting some fat in the cheese. But I'll do 2 slices. So there are the eggs and steak and eggs, and there are the 2 dogs. One sits on each side of the chair every time I eat, and I do feed them a little bit of all the food I eat, pretty much every meal I have. Next, I'm going to have 2 coffees, and I have them back to back, and I have them, and I do 8 ounces. So I basically have 16 ounces of coffee in the morning after I eat. I don't have any coffee. I have my element, and then I have coffee after that. There is there's a theory that you cannot absorb nicotine until 90 minutes after you wake up. And I don't mean you can't absorb it. Obviously, you can drink coffee at any time, but the caffeine will not act as a stimulant until after 90 minutes after you woke up. Basically, from ending sleep until caffeine being able to activate is 90 minutes. Now, I don't know if that's true. Andrew Huberman is the one that talks about it. He's a neuroscientist, so I can't imagine the guy's just making stuff up, but I just don't know. I don't know if that's right, but it's luckily the way I do it, I'm pretty damn close to that 90-minute mark by the time I feed the dogs, feed the horse, I go to the restroom, feed myself, drink my element. I'm damn near getting there. This is just a view outside. It's a little bit gloomy today, just in the morning, but as the day goes on, you can see that it clears up and gets sunny. So as we go, you're going to see that I do basically, as soon as I'm done eating, I do a cleanup. I let my dogs clean the plate, just lick it clean like it's just got residue on it, but they like to lick it clean. Then I put it in the dishwasher, put my fork in the dishwasher, rinse out my Vega shaker glass that I used to make my element, and close the cabinet door. It looks like what do I need to do here? Did I forget to put the fork in, I think? Yeah, I don't know. What is that over there? I can't tell what it is. Usually I have to come down here and clean up a couple drips of drool from the dogs because I'm feeding them. They drool a little bit. I mean, they're not like really hardcore droolers, but they do drool. Another look at the cat. I'm not sure where Nuka says. She's around here somewhere. Okay. And now we're just, now we're basically just going to, go to work now. I'm gonna basically go down and make calls and, do a few emails, for work. And then, I do have one. I've got to go look at a house today, so you'll get to walk through that house with me. And I think that's what oh no, after I eat, they get one more like jerky treat. See these yellow bags? These are like little jerky, so I give them that after that. So that's pretty much all my dogs have to eat until lunch. And Pearl she wants to go eat it on the bed. And then she like usually will pick up her toy with the tree. I mean, she's, man, she's something. That's it. Now we're gonna work. And then, okay, we've done some work. And I've drank both my coffees. And now it's time to brush my teeth. So after my coffees is when I will, I brush my teeth because the coffee I drink is black coffee. And I don't want it to stain my teeth. I guess we're gonna take a shower now. Obviously, you're not gonna take one with me, but that's now when I take my shower. So my appointment is at 11 o'clock to go see this house. And so, yeah. How can you not love them? This is the house we're going to go look at right now. Zillow says 1.9, but I've ran the comps. It's 8,800 square foot, 5 bed, 3 bath. It's actually more than that. The comps are wrong on that. Or the Zillow ad is wrong. It's never been for sale. It was a custom build, so they're going off the tax record. So this is the front office, and this is like a half bath. It's a pretty nice half bath. There's a coat closet there. Over this way is the master suite. So this is the master bedroom. I really like the ceiling. And master bath. And master shower. And closet. It's a big place. Back to the bedroom and back out. Then we will go to the left here. That's that's my client there. It kind of looks like me walking around there. He's a few years younger than me. I think he's 47. I'm 52. So, yeah, this is, his dad died, and now he's got to sell his dad's house. Was his dad's house, so it's kind of sad, really. Laundry. Because I'm just kind of walking through this time. I'm just walking through to figure out what to do. They had the air conditioner off, so they were trying to like get the house cooled down because it was so warm in there. But by the time I got there, it's nice and cool. But again, just looking for things that need to be done before we sell it. And here I noticed a crack. And I don't know, I'm trying to get in there so you can see it. See that crack? We will fix that because it's just for this caliber of home, you cannot have any excuses. This house needs to be perfect. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to make it perfect. The family have like pilfered like furniture and stuff that they wanted. It's kind of a interesting situation. This is like a little attic that's an unfinished portion, but it gives you access to it. So if you needed to, needed to access it to get for video or cameras or lighting, or you have access to it pretty easy. In this room, you can see down the middle, the carpet is basically needs stretched. There's a bump in the carpet, and so it needs stretched. It also needs cleaned. So there's a stain in the corner I think would be cleanable. But yeah, just walking through, we're gonna have to get a pillow and blankets on this, but they're sitting right there, so we'll make the bed. You can see the movers there getting some furniture out. We're gonna leave most of the rest of the furniture, but unfortunately this upstairs is gonna feel empty. But hopefully it'll be good because people will understand that it's gonna be move-in ready. So yeah, there's not going to be a lot to do. Just fix the carpet, clean the carpet. Assuming the carpet does clean, then it's going to be okay. And then this is going down into the basement, and the basement here is not finished. Maybe actually first I think I go to the garage. Yeah. So we're going to go to the garage. It is a 4-car garage. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it does have epoxy floor. And this is outside to the pool area, which is interesting because when you're outside, the pool has its own bath. So this door takes you to the pool bathroom. Yeah, there's a pool bathroom here. It's crazy. It is on a water feature, so it's sitting on a pond, and then it does have this pool. Now, I didn't open the pool today, but they assured me it's they've got it. They've had a pool company get it ready, so it's for pictures. I'll like open the cover for pictures. I didn't go by the outdoor. There's an outdoor seating area, like a lanai area out there that I didn't show, but that's something we'll see. That'll be probably next week or maybe the week after. I'll have that house ready to list. It just depends on how quickly they get their stuff out. Now you can see in this basement, it's ready to finish, but it's not finished yet. So it's all framed out, but it just didn't get done. So it's not completely finished, and unfortunately, that's gonna be a tough workaround because it could be so much better if this was finished. It has 2 furnaces down here and so this house has 3 furnaces and 3 air conditioners. Again, I just don't need anything this big. I think it's a nice house, and I can live there and make it something really, really cool, but it's just unnecessary. I mean, I don't want a house that needs more than 1 furnace and 1 air conditioner. I don't have any need for a house that big. 1 furnace and 1 AC is good. You can see this guy you'll see it's not me, but we kind of look alike. It's interesting. Those are sump pumps and ejector pits. Yeah. And there are I'm looking through to see like which one is for the basement and one is for the main floor, and then the upstairs has its own. It's an efficient system, so. But yeah, this is just kind of what I do to walk through there. Yeah, I'm just checking out this thing and just kind of getting an idea what to do. He and I are just kind of talking right now about how this is set up, whether that's the bathroom there. I think that's a bathroom. And then a bedroom, so. But then I can go home and I can look at footage like this and kind of get a game plan on what needs to be done and what we can do. So yeah, it would probably be ideal to just finish this basement because sadly somebody's going to spend over $1.5 million and then have to live through a month or 2 of construction to get this basement done, because all the wiring, like the framing is there, but I think it looks like the lighting is there, but I know the air conditioning is there, but I don't know how far along it is, but man, it would be a lot of work. So yeah, it's big down there. I would almost want to leave it and have like man, you could rollerblade or ride your bike down there. I mean, it is big. You could skate down there big time. skateboard, whatever. Anyway, but yeah, that's it. I don't know why I was delaying there. I should have cut some of this out. I could have made this one a little bit longer, but it's a nice staircase going up. I like this. That's like a mud area, mud room. And then back upstairs, I think, and then I go ahead and go in the laundry room here. Alright, yes, that's the laundry room, I think so, yeah. It's the laundry room. Kitchen. Main family area. I like the beams on the ceiling. There's no cushions on the chairs, so we got a lot to figure out. Alright, so I left there, and now on my way home, I go to the car wash because it was kind of drizzling earlier. Now, I have an unlimited pass, so it will, you just pull up to the gate, and it reads, see that sticker on my windshield? That is the magnetic pass that allows the gate to open, and I can go through here unlimited times for $39 a month. And to get, if one time is like $10 or $12, so it's like 3 times, and it's worth it. And so I go through a couple times a week because I'm always seeing clients, and I have to have a clean car. Like I can't. I mean, I could, but I think having your car clean is just like you being clean. I wouldn't present myself to my clients in a dirty fashion. Like I don't ever go see them like in shorts or a t-shirt. I've always dressed professionally anytime I'm going to meet my clients. So yeah, this is just driving through this car wash. There's several different brands of car wash, but this one is really good. I mean, it gets your car really clean and it dries it really good, so it gets nearly all the water off. Those are really powerful sprayers. Usually when I'm driving through a car wash, I just either like check my email. I'm scrolling through, like I get so much irrelevant email. I just like to get rid of it in times like these. So, there's nothing I can do. I don't steer or stop or anything. So I just let it do its thing until I get to the end. And so I try to make my time in here productive rather than just watching the car wash. So if somebody came to get me, they could get me in the car wash because I wouldn't be paying attention. Yeah, this is the dryer section. And then right there in front of the car, you can see that's where it dresses your tires. I think they're working on it because this guy's trying to watch its operation as my car goes through. But yeah, these are really good dryers. And the Ultimate is the best. It does an underbody wash too. So, and then you basically just go through the end of this until the green light comes on. That's it. That's how our car washes. In case you're watching this from another country that doesn't have them like this, that's how ours work. And you just drive. Once it says go, you put your car back in drive and you can go. And then they have the outside vacuum cleaners if you want to try to sweep your interior, or they offer the interior cleaning as well. So now that I've gotten home from that appointment, now it's time for lunch. I have one more appointment. Now this was a day where I had an 11 o'clock and a 4 o'clock, so it's those are almonds, and this is beef jerky. And basically that's what I have for lunch, along with a protein shake. Now, a normal day for me would be working out before lunch, and then I have lunch after I work out. But because I had that appointment, I had to move it around. And this is one of the things that set your schedule pretty much when you're in real estate. Now, my clients have the appointments, but I jockey around what I need to jockey around. So I decided to eat lunch before I worked out. And it's just sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. If you're gonna get the workout in, no matter what, you just put it in there where you can. If you say to yourself, oh, well, I wasn't able to work out at 10 o'clock like I normally do. Okay, well then, so you're just not gonna work out? No. For me, I don't care if I have to do it at 7 at night or get to do it at 10 in the morning, which is my typical time. Then I'm gonna get it in. I'm gonna do it because I know if I don't, I won't feel right. It's like I work out. Yes, I need to. At my age, I know that having muscle is going to keep me alive longer. There are studies that show muscle is like the number one factor in longevity in living to be 100. So I think it's critical that I do it. But yeah, that's one reason I work out, but primarily it's for mental. It's for the dopamine that I get. And I've heard it said recently that whenever you basically, there is like a I can't remember the name of it, but it's like talking about a biological balance in your body. I'm showing you B12. These are the vitamins I take. I take one B12 a day, and I take 2 vitamin D3s. So I do the D3 because I think vitamin D is important for immune health, and it's also, if it's like rainy, I get my vitamin D, whether I get it from the sun or whether I get it from taking it. I'm gonna get it in me because I think it's a necessary ingredient for me to feel good. Anyway, what was I talking about before I got onto the vitamins? Darn it. I don't remember. That's not good. I know one of you is like yelling at this screen. This is tell us finish the story, but I know I was talking about biology. Oh, the biological balance. Yeah. So basically meaning that if you put yourself through pain, your body feels the pain and gives you the dopamine to balance the pain away, to make the pain not so bad. That is what dopamine does, is it gets on the scale and says, whoa, the pain scale went way down. We've got to balance it out. And so dopamine pushes the other way to try to get you back to a balanced state. And so that's biologically speaking, that's what's happening now. I suppose that you could take that as you might as well not do nothing and just stay in the same state. However, I think the dopamine reaction is what gives you a good feeling. So yes, dopamine is having to step in to balance the scales, to get rid of the pain that you're giving the body, or going through the pain emotionally or mentally because you're doing something you don't really want to do. But the dopamine comes in and says, okay, we'll press on this scale. So it's almost like a hack. So you can make, if you want the dopamine, you gotta give your body pain and it'll give it to you. It's like an internal drug, and that's what it does for me. It makes me feel better. I feel better about myself. I saw Pearl kind of snatch. Yeah, I tell you, these dogs are great company. I know some of you might think, man, that must suck just being alone all the time. Well, I get to go out and be in society and see people, and I have friends and family, and I'm not like completely alone in life. Now, after I eat lunch, what I'm going to do is I'm going to marinate my steak. Now, because I already have 2 days worth of steak, well, I used 1 day this morning, but I have steak for tomorrow's breakfast. Now, I'm just going to make 1 steak tonight. But I would say 50% of the time, I just put salt and pepper and put the steak on the grill. But there are times where I like to marinate. About, I would say, half the time I use marinade, because I use this specific marinade that is just a flavor that is out of this world. I mean, it is, I can't even explain to you how amazing it is. So what I'm doing here is just perforating the steak, because when you marinate, it helps the marinade get soaked in to the meat. And the marinade that I'm using requires a 4-hour marinade time. Now, one thing you're seeing me do is use a knife and put it back in the drawer. I take it over to the sink, I clean it off, but that's my favorite. I just use that knife all the time, so I see no reason to just wash it. I'll wait for it in the dishwasher. But that is the marinade. It's Allegro, and God, it is amazing. If you've never used it on a steak, you've got to try it. I recommend a ribeye. I recommend getting a ribeye. Put it in one of these. It's a quart-sized bag that you're going to need to put the steak in, to be able for it to lay flat and be able to have marinade on both sides. But you don't need much. So that bottle is like magic. So you don't want to waste it, because you're going to throw away all the liquid after the steak's marinated. You can't save that liquid, it's just gone. But so it's kind of a science figuring if there's enough or not enough. But I would say err on the side of not enough. Give that thing some juice, because if you've never tried it, it will, God, I tell you, I can barely even go to restaurants because I like my steak so much better. But that's basically it. I try to get all the air out, and you can see that the liquid is really on both sides of the meat, and then I lay it flat in the shelf, and I put like items around the Ziploc to make sure it doesn't unfold itself, so that steak is like pressed in there, and it's laying flat, and it's gonna absorb all of that flavor from that marinade. And oh my God, I mean, it's definitely the best thing I eat all day, and it's the best thing I've ever eaten, that I've ever cooked myself. Okay, enough of that. There's my friends. Alright, and so now it's time for lunch for Biggie. And not really that I have to feed him again, but I will replenish his hay if it's empty, or I'll clean his stall. And I'll, just give him some attention. So we're going back. Oh, I guess first I'm going over here to check out Vivian. So there is a chipmunk that lives in that woodpile. And so that's like every time we go outside, she goes straight to that woodpile to try to get to that chipmunk. She thinks she's gonna get it one of these days. Yeah. That's a soybean field, if you've never seen one. They're planting soybean beside me, but of corn across the street. Alright, now we're gonna go see the big man. Normally when I come out here, he is outside, but because it's warm, he's chilling. He's chilling in the shade. I'm gonna spray him with fly spray. You can see when the spray hits him, like how his skin shakes from getting hit with the spray. But it keeps keeps the flies off of him. You can see it again, just that's how skittish, like horses are flight animals, and that's, they're always on the lookout. They're kind of like cats in that they are always on edge, you know. Now, he would never hurt anybody. He would if he might accidentally hurt somebody, but I don't think he would ever on purpose hurt somebody unless they were hurting him, you know. I don't know what he would do in that situation, but I don't really have any fear of ever getting hurt by him, because he's nice. They're just such a different animal than a dog in that they're not as they don't show their emotion as much, but there is just something majestic about being near an animal that big and that strong that could literally, if he wanted to, he could charge me right now and just stomp the life out of me. He could knock me down, raise up, and just bring all his weight down with his feet, and he could literally kill me in seconds, but he just won't. You know, right now he could kick me, he could kill me with a kick. It's not for sure I would die, but if he could do it, I'm vulnerable to him. There's trust here to be able to stand behind a horse. There's a lot of trust. You trust him and he trusts you. He goes out and rolls. I wish I could get one of his rolls on film for you. I'll get one of these days. But when he does it, he moans, because like it feels good when he's like rolling over. But that's how he gets all this dirt on him, because he rolls. He gives himself like a dirt bath. He goes out there and rolls, and there's a specific spot that doesn't have any grass at all, because that's his roll spot, and it's like a powdery dirt that they take like mud, like dirt baths in. And it's worse like when it's muddy, because then he gets chunks that dry on him. But he likes to be brushed. This thing is really like, it's good about scraping. It's basically like a scraper that helps scrape everything out of there, and then after this I can brush him with just like a normal brush, but you need to really get kind of the dirt out of there first. But he's much prettier when he's clean. But you know, in the wild, he would just take dirt baths. He wouldn't get this kind of treatment. Like, this is a vanity cleaning. He doesn't need to be that clean. He's content being dirty. It's just like dogs. Dogs are content being stinky and going out and rolling in dead stuff, you know. They're happy to be stinky, but we don't want them to be, so we give them baths so they smell better. But, you know, they're amazing. Animals are just amazing. This is just, they just want to get back in. This is their domain. Yeah, this is the safe place for them. Let's see if I can get Pearl out here. Yep. Go get it, Pearl. I didn't quite get it over the fence again. I'm still holding the phone. Actually, I think I have the gimbal, but I'm holding the gimbal. Yeah. She releases the toy really well because she wants me to throw it. And of course she wants a head start. She is just so cute when she's excited about going to get the ball. I hope you all get to experience the joy of owning a dog someday that loves you and that helps you understand the type of bond that's lunch, yeah. Sorry. It's getting late. I'm talking longer than normally. Now, I might get some heat for my workout attire, but let me explain. I want the sun in as much place as I can get it. And for me, it's a matter of, on a scale, like, when we all look at each other, it's so weird that we say white or black, because none of us are white and none of us are black. Like, white people are all like a off shade of tan, and black people are all a shade of brown. So it's just weird that we do that. But on the scale of whiteness, my skin in areas that never get sun is damn near translucent, to where like you can see my veins and stuff. So I'm like, I like to get a little pigment on my body. So it is what it is. I'm showing you a day in my life, and this is how it is. I'm not gonna not get the vitamin D I need just because I might look a little stupid, but it is what it is. And I say that because I got some comments whenever I've made a workout video. That's what I wear to work out. So when I work out outside, if I was working out inside, it wouldn't much matter as much to me, but I need the sun, so that's why I do it. So this first thing I'm doing here, this is a 5-minute warm-up, and how I'm running the warm-up is there is a video playing inside that room that I can hear. I'm playing it through my speakers. I have speakers on the floor hooked up to a receiver that I hook my phone up to and play whatever video. And I'm playing the warm-up video. It's by Anabolic Alien on YouTube. He's got a lot of workout videos, but I am doing his 5-minute warm-up, and so I hear him inside saying, and now we are going to do this, now we are going to do that, and now we are switching to, now you need to pearl the ball, and now I'm going to these. So yeah, and so I'm taking audio cues from a video to know what to do, and I pretty much have watched the video like when I've been inside doing it. Like in the winter time, I can't always go outside. Sometimes I'll do it in the cold, like a cold plunge, but not if there's snow on the ground. Rising torso, twirls, rising torso, twirls, yeah. So you just slowly work your way up, but this is all about kind of like stretching out, and I didn't used to warm up before I worked out, but I got myself a couple aches and pains along the ways from not doing it, and just learned that I'm old enough. I have to warm up before I work out. I cannot just jump right into a warm up. Now, some of you that might be really strong, like workout regimen, like what is right and what is wrong, or what is protocol when you're working out. I am not working out to get big. I am working out to maintain what I have. So I don't work out to failure. I do anywhere from 12 to 15 reps, sometimes 20 when I do push-ups. When I do the push-ups and leg lifts, I'll do 20, but and I only do 10 pull-ups. But at the end of the day, that's what this workout is. So basically, I'm just going to run through this 5-minute warm-up with you, and then I'm going to do one set with you, and that way you can see the exercises that I do. Now, am I like magazine quality? No, but for 52, I am definitely on the each side of being in shape for people my age. So, listen, this is what works for me. There may be, I think we all need something a little bit different, but this is what I have tried so many different things, and this is the workout that feels good to me. It makes me feel good. It seems to be working the parts of my body that I feel are the most important. And so basically the warm-up is over, and then I start my regular workout with 20 push-ups. And again, maybe I should be doing these slower, but this is how I like to do them. Yeah, I like to do them. I need, like, part of it is I don't like doing this. So I want this to get over as quick as possible. And I got to be able to do the next workout. And, like, you don't know how much I don't like doing this. But again, this is forced pain so that I can feel good the rest of the day. And I can keep my body lean and muscular for age development. This is for triceps, overhead tricep press. Those are adjustable dumbbells, and I have them set at, well, you know what's interesting? It's 35 on each side of the dumbbell, which to me is a total of 70 pounds. So that would be 70 on each dumbbell. And then, so a total of 140 pounds, but it's not together. So each arm is doing 70. Well, it could be 35. I mean, I just know what the dumbbells are set at, what they say. So I don't even know. I just know what feels heavy to me. And this exercise right here, the curl, this is the exercise that keeps me at the weight I am at. So those are 35 per side, I think, maybe 70. I don't know how it works on dumbbell, how you read a dumbbell. But I could probably do 20 of these if I had to, but I stop sometimes 12, 14. That's it. I don't want to go to fill. I'm not trying to bulk up. I like being the size I am. I don't want to get any bigger. I just want to stay lean. So this is the exercise I do to maintain strength, maintain mobility, and that's it. I don't think I'll ever go up from this weight because, again, at my age, you got to think about cartilage and joints. This exercise here is kind of like a deadlift, but it's a lower back exercise, obviously a little bit different than a deadlift, and then I double it with a shoulder shrug at the top. Again, in the effort of being efficient, I can basically get 2 exercises out of one. And yeah, this is great for your lower back. One thing that you'll notice is you're not really going to see much leg exercise here. So I ride my bike, and that's what I think is good for my legs. So I just don't do much leg weights because it's harder to do leg weights with dumbbells. So I just don't do them, and I'm not too concerned about getting really large legs, you know. I don't want to weigh a whole lot. So now this is one I'm kind of prepping myself mentally for. This is the pull-ups, and these are, you know, you've got a lot of strength. You're using a lot of muscle, but again, primarily back, but you're using bicep and forearms and abs. I mean, this is like a whole body, and it's it's like my hands, I've got like big calluses, but it's primarily from them. You can see like, but I'd rather have like strong hands like than like really super soft hands. Like I feel better having a little bit of a rougher hand. I don't know why. I think because like when I was working at dealerships, I shook so many people's hands and I would feel like some men's hands that felt like women's, and it was weird. So it kind of stuck with me. I know that's a weird thing. Now these are inverted push-ups. So you're basically doing like a shoulder press. You're just pressing your whole weight, and I do 15 of those. Those are for your shoulders. It's like a shoulder press. And again, if you're doing your body weight exercises, I'm doing them so that I don't have to have like machines and stuff. I don't need machines. I can use my body. Now I do this instead of traditional sit-ups because I just think it's better for my back. I just don't, when you're doing regular sit-ups, you have to have something holding your legs down, and I don't know, I just don't find them I find them because I'm lifting the pressure off of my like tailbone in this situation. But when you're doing a sit-up, you're like pressing up against your tailbone onto the floor. Like this, the weight is on my shoulders as it comes up, but I'm still working my abs. And when you're doing it the opposite way, your weight is on your backside, basically your butt. And I think that it's just not as good. These to me are better, so I do 20 of those. So now I basically just do that exercise 2 more times, and then then I got cleaned up and I came out here. This is my second appointment, and basically I had to drop off a key fob that goes to the workout room at this condo complex, and I just wanted to record this little area because it's like a nice little walkability area part of Indiana. This is in Fishers, Indiana, and it's really cool. I mean, you got hotels, restaurants, bars, breweries, and Top Golf and IKEA. Just everything is like right here. It's like very walkable, like where most of Indiana is not, because everything's so spread out. It's not like as walkable as a lot of cities are, but this little area of Fishers is very walkable. There are condos and apartments. If you look over here to the left, you see that GT3. There's a Porsche GT3. I kind of tried to. There it is. It's a good-looking car. Yeah. But I'm gonna pull up to these condos, and I just have to drop this key off to this guy. Because I made a video of this condo about, I don't know, 6 months ago. So if you go back 6 months, you'll see this condo that I had for sale. Well, this guy that I'm going to see right now, he's not my client. I represented the seller. This guy is the guy that bought it, but I had an extra set of keys and an extra garage door opener that I had to get him. So I gave him that. Now it's time to come home, and now it's time to feed the horse. So at nighttime, the horse eats before the dogs. Yeah. So I came home, changed my clothes, back to home chores. Basically, I feed him the same amount of grain at night as I do during the day, but for breakfast. But I do not put the vitamins in at night. He just has the vitamins in the morning. knows. Look, he knows what time it is. He's not dumb. He loves his food. He's food motivated for sure. It's just funny. Animals just love to eat, most of them. So now it's back to rinse out the food bucket, and then get him more. Probably, maybe I'm gonna fill more water up here. I'm not sure. Well, it's another section. Oh, I don't know. There we go. Yep, I'm gonna have to put more water in there. Yeah. Part of this is just making it colder too because it's so hot. Like normally I wouldn't have to put more water in it this time, but I'm wanting to cool the water down. You can see the flies. There's nothing you can do to stop them in the summertime. They're out. If it's if it's warm and there's poop around there, you'll have flies. Yeah. I don't think that I will have another horse after he is gone. I like them and I love him, but there's just it's a lifestyle, And there's Pearl's toy next to the poop. Now it's poop duty again. Oh, goodness. But yeah, see what I mean? It's a lifestyle. You're just cleaning stalls, sure. And again, and like, it'd be one thing, like, if one day, like, I don't know how people, like, kill their pets, like, have cows and take care of them like this, and then one day just they go away. They butcher them for food. I just couldn't do it. So, but obviously somebody else is doing it for me, but I couldn't get close to an animal and do it, I think it's one of the things I'll probably talk to you about later, because part of what I do is after my day's all pretty much done and I got pretty much all the chores done, and I go out back and I just kind of relax without a phone, without anything, just alone time, just thinking time. See, she wants me to throw it, so she lays it down. I mean, this is why they call them retrievers, because that's all they want to do is retrieve. I mean, she would literally play all day long. I have to make her stop because she gets, like, panting so bad. So I don't. Plus my arm would give out. Anyway, there's the big horse eating. Now we'll go find Vivian again and look at her. She's still over there thinking she can get that thing. I mean, he's probably long gone. She still just smells it, I've seen him many times. He runs up the tree. She's gonna knock a piece of wood off here, which she's done many times. I'm like, oh, goodness. They're funny creatures. The beans are getting tall. It's kind of like I know how long we're getting along in the seasons by how tall the beans get. Usually, like, farmers will rotate crops, but this guy here, he only grows soybeans, like, year after year after year after year, never grows corn. I wish he would grow corn because it would be like a big wall of corn, and it's so tall, and it would be like a big barrier for at least for a season, But it's fine. He's the farmer, not me. Alright, now we gotta put all this stuff up and close up the lid, and now we'll go feed the dogs. You're kind of seeing the pattern here with the dogs coming to the gate. I mean, this is just what we do. You know, it may seem boring to you guys, but I tell you, there's just something really peaceful about it. And I don't know, it's comfortable for me. It's a comfortable life. And I just feel better with creatures around me. I do. Yeah, the food and same treat. They get the whimsies. They get one whimsy in the morning, one whimsy in the evening. And then after I eat, they get a beef jerky treat. I think it's actually chicken jerky, but see, there she picked up her toy and her treat. Like she has to have a toy. Like she always has to have a toy. It's just so cute. All right, so I think I went and just like did a little bit of work at the computer, and now I'm getting up. See this hair? So where they jump onto the bed and where they come into the dog door, it always seems to collect the worst there. So I run my shop vac every day, once a day, and these things just shed a lot. It's one of the kind of negatives about having a dog that sheds, but they are worth the extra work. And if you think about it, they just kind of keep you, because when you're sweeping up dog hair, you're sweeping up everything else too. So it's actually, I think I'm cleaner because I have dogs, because I clean my floor every day. But I suppose if you came over right now, this second, right before I'm cleaning, where it's at its worst, you may not think so. But again, a little dog hair in a house with several dogs is pretty. This thing is one of the best machines I've ever purchased. It is a cordless, basically a cordless shop vac. It's a Milwaukee, and I don't know if I posted it on this channel or not, but I got this as a gift from a client, but she gave me a $500 Chinese star. It's a long story, but I made a video about it, but I told her I wanted to get something with the money, and so I unfolded the Chinese star. There were 5 $100 bills, and this is what I bought. I spent a little bit more than $500 because I got some extended batteries, and they were like $300 just for the battery pack. But it just does a great job. Now, it wouldn't, this is good for flat floors only. It would not be good for carpet. But basically, I just go over every square inch with this thing, front and back, and it gets all the dog hair and any other like crumbs or dirt that gets brought in. It all gets easily vacuumed up. And yeah, so I like it. And it doesn't take that long. It's easy to do, especially because it's cordless. That's why I like it so much. It's just so handy, and I barely feel it on my back. So it's just that the handle detaches. I don't know if that's what I'm showing you. No, I'm just moving it. Yeah, so see, the handle detaches, and so Pearl, obviously that's where she lays when I'm making videos most of the time. But yeah, just kind of sweep the hair off of that. Since it's leather, it's easy to just get off of there. And then get underneath this my desk, because where I sit, like I track, like the hair sticks to the bottom of my shoes, and so typically I get a little pile underneath my desk. And then some of it, this is a cloth seat, so it tends to stick, and plus the little cat likes to sleep there, so she tends to get some hair on there as well. But again, just cleaning like this once a day, which is just a few everything is at, and it's just better. It's just a better way to live, being clean. And so I didn't fast forward any of this because I wanted you guys to be able to see some people will use excuses and say, I don't have time, and but if you ask that same person that says they don't have time, if you ask them how much, I bet they're caught up on all their TV shows and they've watched a bunch of shows on Netflix and can tell you all about it, or they watch the NBA finals, or so there's just a lot of places to cut out and find time to be productive. There's just saying I don't have enough time is just not an excuse. I know what it's like to work 80 hours a week. I used to do it, and I still would clean my house. So this has probably taken me a total of 7 or 8 minutes. I mean, I didn't time this part myself, but primarily the dogs have been downstairs, so I'm just doing the stairs, but I don't do the upstairs because I don't need to do it every day because the cats aren't as bad and the dogs aren't up there that much. I mean, we spend most of our time down here. And if they're upstairs, they're typically just walking and laying. They're not really playing or jumping. Like, they jump to get on the bed, and they get the dog door brushes their sides and kind of, it's like petting them. Now it's time to start the grill to 450 degrees Fahrenheit, that is. And that's a wood pellet grill, so it's just burning wood pellets. And that's got a self-starter on it. And of course, what does Pearl want? Pearl wants to play some more. I'm telling you, it just gets to be... Oh, I didn't get it over again. So she's like, get it again, Dad. I got it over that time. There we go. So yeah, now it's time to cook. So it takes a little bit to get the grill up to temperature, and in that time I'll go get the food ready. So again, animals eat before me. Part of it is I don't want them to be hungry when I'm eating, because then they would not be likely as calm when they're sitting there asking me for some of my food. I come over here to see if I can see the horse. He's clear out there in the back, but I don't know if you can see him, but there he is. He's eating grass up against the fence. But yeah, that's just how he spends his days. You think about how a horse in the wild would spend their day, that they would be basically hiding from prey and grazing. I'm just waiting to see when this... So basically it takes a little bit for there's a heating element in there that gets real hot, and it finally ignites a pile of wood pellets. And there's an auger that feeds in the pellets. I figured while we're waiting for that to warm up, I would take you over and show you this side of the yard, because you rarely ever get to see what's over here. So there is basically just open field, and that back fenced area there is where the dogs area is. So the dogs have all that, and those 2 walnut trees are the 2 largest trees on my property. Yeah, that's what's over there. And now you can see the smoker is starting to smoke, so that igniter has now lit the fire, and it's smoking. The reason I like it is because you get that wood smoke flavor on the meat rather than like a propane flame, because you can kind of taste the propane. If you've ever had a wood pellet piece of meat compared to a propane grill, you will taste the difference. You will taste the propane on the meat. The next time, if you had them side by side, you can taste it. So I don't want to burn gas to do it. is now getting the steak out, and it's now marinated for 4.5 hours probably. And I use a fork to get it out of the bag. Yep, and now we'll go down and cook. I think time-wise, it's probably, I'm gonna guess, around 6:30, 7 o'clock. About now. I don't know, hopefully maybe I'll show something with the time. I think that's about what time it is. When I'm eating, that's typically sometime. That's usually my normal time, so the temperature is ready. It regulates, so even though it goes slightly over, because obviously it's a fire, it's hard to get a fire exact when it's not a regulated flame. This is an actual wood fire in there, so you've got some fluctuation on temperature, but not too much. So this is just, I stab it with a fork and pull it out of the bag and then just lay it on the grill. 450 degrees is warm, so you can feel the heat. But you can see the smoke now getting over it. But then I just take that bag, and my trash can stays on the other side of this fence, and I just throw them in there because the Ziploc keeps the liquid in. It's locked in there for sure. But that way I don't have to throw it away, because throw it away inside. And we do 4 minutes. We do 4 minutes on each side. So I do 4 minutes and then flip, and then 4 minutes on the other side. So this has been 4 minutes at 450 degrees. Flip it over. You can see the grill marks. I love it when they're striped. So when you open the lid, you lose you lose some temperature too. But that's the great thing about being able to cook with temperature, is you can, if you cook with temperature and time, you can't mess it up. It is science. If you cook a steak at this temperature for this long, it's going to be the same result every single time. It's just the way it works. So 4 minutes later, I take it off, and it's exactly how I like my steaks. So I eat mine medium. Now I bring the plate inside because I'm trying to capture all the juices. You can see the juices on that grate. It's just nice and juicy. This is why they're so good. I turned the grill off, and now we head inside. And God, I can't tell you what this smells like. It's just heaven. Yeah. And of course the dogs know what time it is. They know that they get some snacks. Time to eat supper. Kick the light on here for you here, and then I also I do make a protein shake for dinner too. Now the protein shake I have for dinner is different from the protein shake I have for lunch. They are both the same brand. The brand is Vega, but the lunch is high protein, 30 grams. This is only 20 grams of protein, but it has a lot of vitamins and minerals. So it's called Vega 1 because it claims to have everything you need, like the USDA recommended amounts of vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D, everything that you need in one. So you think about taking a multivitamin pill. Well, this is like a big giant scoop of greens and protein. And so, again, is it necessary that I do this? No, but I just feel better. I feel like I'm doing good for my body. And that's pretty much it. Now, I do have potato chips. That is my weakness. Now, if I'm going to cut down, like right now, I've probably at a higher body fat percentage than I normally am, but I will probably this handles type, but I think it's nice to have some reserve energy because I've been as low as like 9% body fat, and oh god, Pearl's having a dream. I've been to 9% body fat, and I just didn't feel like I looked that good. Like my cheeks were sunken in because I had lost all the fat in my face. I mean, so I decided that, you know what, actually feel a little better with a little bit of fat reserves on me. And I kind of think like if you ever had to survive, you do need a little fat reserves. So I think being too lean can be a bad thing. So I try to just find the most moderate position, you know, where I still feel good. Obviously, I sped this part up because I didn't want you to just sit here and have to watch me eat the whole time. But I thought, you know, some people like mukbang videos, and I thought I could do one of them sometime. But I'm not, you know, I do whisper videos because that's what I like. I like listening to whispers, and it's what gives me tingles. And mukbang has just never gave me tingles, and so I'm just not comfortable doing something that I don't know anything about. Like, I can't relate to getting tingles from mukbang, so I relate to whispers because that's what I listen to. And there's the dogs cleaning the plate again. They always clean the plate off. And again, this is just kind of getting things cleaned up. Just if you do everything all at once, this is me washing my knife off again because again, I need it for tomorrow night, but I won't run this dishwasher for maybe another 2 days. So I don't, just to be conservative, I don't need to run the dishwasher every day. You know, I'm not filling it up every day. And so, but the items that I need to reuse, like my shaker glass, if you just rinse them right after you use them, I mean, it's not, I don't see the problem. It's not like you're coming over to use them, you know. I know what I'm using myself. So like my shaker glass, I just rinse it, it's ready to go. I pull it out of the dishwasher and I make my next shake with it. Same with that knife. That knife I will use in the morning and at night, so I want it ready to go, so I just wipe it down every time after I use it, and that way I've got it ready to go. Otherwise I'd have to have, you know, 4 or 5 of them to make sure I always had one clean when I needed it, and I'd just be washing, you know, more of them. So it'd just be more, I think it'd be more work to have more of them. So I don't mind, maybe not, because washing them down each time probably takes a little time, but anyway, it's just what I do. So I think I need to, did I not clean the drool up? I'm surprised I didn't clean the drool up. No, I guess not, unless I did that off camera. Usually the dinner time is worse because they get the fat off of the meat, and that's what makes them salivate the most. But they salivate the most at supper. Look, she's standing there. She knows it's time for the chicken jerky treat. Because that's the first thing we do when I come downstairs after dinner. They get to be creatures of habit too, just like we do. They get used to, they get used to certain things. Yeah. Okay. That's, what do we do now? I think, what do we do now? Oh, I know. I think we're ready to go outside and just relax, I believe. So we'll get, we got all of our work done today that needed to be done, just a couple errands to run, and now we're gonna head outside to enjoy the day. So I like to spend at least a little bit of time away from my computer, away from my phones. Like, I don't bring my phones out with me for this part just go out and just sit in nature and have my animals with me and just sit and think about life. Tonight, I am just going to think about my animals and the interesting thing that my dogs and cats get along. However, if I were to let these animals get hungry, I am certain that would change. My animals get along because they don't have the typical survival instincts that would be present if they were struggling in nature. And I am certain that if, let's say, for example, something happened to me and my animals were trapped in my house together, eventually, as the food bowls emptied, I do feel like after a couple days, the dogs might, in order to survive, might do something to the cats being hungry. I don't know. But I do know that their comfort level adds to their ability to get along. And I think that we can learn a lot about that, about each other, in that if we could all find a way to have comfort, there would be no need to hurt each other, no need to steal. If everybody had what they wanted, they wouldn't need to come after what you have. And I can only hope that we are heading to that type of society. And I have to believe that just needs someone to cuddle with and someone to throw her toys, because that allows her to go get them. And I think that's in her brain. Her thoughts are, I want to play, I want to play, I want to play. And I love that about her. Yeah, I think that's one of the reasons why I still do this channel. It does, because the proceeds go to help animals, is one, of course. But secondly, I do want to help inspire people to look for a simple life, for a relaxed life. I do believe it is a good way to live, and it is a safe way to live. It keeps you from hurting yourself or hurting other people. If you're home, you're safe. And I wish that everyone can get a home. And I think it's one of the reasons that I was drawn to real estate as well, because I get to help people get homes. And I think it makes people better citizens if they can have ownership. It grounds you more to your community. You have a vested interest in how everything looks, how your roads look. I think, you would be less likely to litter on your own road than a road that is 20 miles from your house. It seems that's logical. That is, it seems logical that we would want to take care of what is closest to us. In the same way that, I love all animals, but I love my own animals the most because they are the closest to me. And because I am responsible for them, and I know them, I know their personalities, I know their differences, and they are all so very different, which is just so interesting in and of itself. A dog is not just a dog. Each dog I've ever had has had its own personality. They are all different. But I will tell you that I mentioned this earlier, that these dogs I have now are better dogs because I have been able to spend a lot of time with them. But I believe that Pearl is a dog I used to have named Agnes, reincarnated. When I open up my mind to the possibility of reincarnation, I think about my dog Agnes and Pearl, and how I see so many similarities of Agnes in Pearl, but I was never able to be the dad I really wanted to be to Agnes because I worked so much. I loved her to pieces, and I wanted to spend more time with her, but I had to work. In order to support the lifestyle I gave her, I had to work in order to own a property where she could be free to roam and not be trapped inside a crate or a kennel, or even trapped inside a house. But she would have enough land to walk around, that she didn't need to be walked, that I didn't have to put her on a leash and take her out to walk, because she could get her own exercise because she had a large enough yard. Now, I'm not criticizing people that take their dogs out for walks. I think it's great, but before now, I never even had the time to do it. So relationship with Pearl is like a second opportunity to be that dad I always wanted to be to Agnes. And it does make me feel better. But I know that Agnes loved me, and I know she had a good life, but I just wish I could have spent so much more time with her, and that's one of the negatives about owning a dog, is that they die so soon. But I look at it like a responsibility, because you know they have such a short lifespan. You're signing up for just a short period. Like, I look at myself as being able to live to 104, because that's how old I have to live to if I want to see the tricentennial of America. I would like to be alive for America's 300th birthday. And interestingly enough, I didn't really think about it until a guy I know mentioned it. And he's younger than me, so he had mentioned that he will hopefully get to see it. And I did the math, and I thought, wow, 104. Yeah, it's possible. Is it likely? No, it's not likely. Do you know that in the United States of America, only 1 in 5,000 people live to be 100? They are called centenarians, and only 1 in 5,000 make it. That is very hard to accomplish. So to plan on being one of those 5,000 is it almost takes arrogance to believe that you can do it. But I want to do it, and I feel like there's no harm in living as if I can. And I think that mindset actually gives me a better chance of getting there. So I have chosen to adopt the idea that I will be old enough to be alive on July 4th in 2076. Interestingly enough, John Adams and Thomas Jefferson both died on July 4th, which is kind of an interesting historical fact. It's kind of strange too. But yeah, so I would encourage each of you to find time in each day where you turn off everything. You get away from your phone, get away from your computer, get away from the TV, get away from all distraction, and just sit with yourself and your thoughts and think about your life. It's in these moments that I'm able to plan my future, because you're thinking clearly, you're not being distracted. You can stay focused on the thoughts you're having. If you're having relationship issues, you can think about the things that are going on inside your relationship and think about the things that you can do to enhance or improve, or decide to stop the relationship you're in. Yeah, that's what you can do if you are alone with your thoughts. Even if you are in a relationship, I believe that it is critical that you take this time to really think through thoughts. You can see, so this I think I've got both cats out here now. Yeah, you can see, so that is the back of my house, and the back of my house faces south. So the front of my home faces north. So when I am on this swing, I am facing the west, and you can see the sun setting over there in the west. And of course, when the sun rises, it rises behind me from in the east. So that's another thing about just owning a house. You get a better sense of direction because you know when you're at home, it's easy to know which way north, south, east, and west is. Now, this cat, Edith, she is very independent, but she still likes moments of being petted. She primarily just keeps to herself, but she does occasionally come up to me for some love. It's rare, but most of the time I just make her spend time with me. And part of it is all of my animals were rescues. And these cats in particular, which any of the like Persian, or she's an exotic long hair, and the other one, Ting Tang, is an exotic short hair. And they have the flat faces, and they are medical nightmares because they are bred genetically. It's a horrible thing humans do. We breed for these special looks, like bulldogs that have the flat face. They're the most unhealthy animal, but we like the way they look or the way they snort. So, but some people can't afford to get them the proper medical care, and so they're often put up for adoptions because the prior owners can't afford the vet care, and so they end up in rescues. And so that's how I've ended up with these cats, because if you agree to pay the vet bills, you can have the animal. I guess in a perfect world, there would be people that would just give donations to the people that own the cat already to pay to get their animal fixed and be able to keep them. But some of these animals just have horrible histories, and this particular one, the long-haired one, has a bad history. Ting Tang, on the other hand, not so much. She was just a matter of the people cannot afford the vet care. So it's, a lot of times you just have to think about that. Sometimes people just think, oh, I can afford it, but then they can't afford to fix it. And it's not responsible pet ownership. They're like us. They have 2 eyes, a nose, 2 ears, a beating heart, lungs, a stomach. I mean, they need health care just like we do. I mean, they get sick, they get hurt, and especially these genetic nightmares that have been, just selfishly bred by irresponsible humans. It's horrible that these animals have to suffer because of humanity's vanity. Yeah, that's it. With Vivian is my big white lab. I was able to get her because some people had bought her. Speaking of Vivian, she's over there scratching her dog bed because she's dreaming and she's running in her sleep. But she had been purchased by a family, and they had an older dog that was elderly, and so they wanted to get a younger dog so that they still had a dog whenever they were going to have to put the older dog down. But the older dog would not get along with the puppy, and so they had to get rid of it. And so I was called, and of course I took her. So she did not have a bad life, but she could not stay in the home she had. Now, Pearl had a horrible life. She was basically an orphan. Her mom family would just come over and like throw dog food into the kennel where these pups were. And they just kept doing it, thinking we need to do something with these dogs. We need to do something with these dogs. But they were in this like kennel until they were 6 months old. And so they knew each other, but they did not know human being interaction. They just knew somebody came in and threw some food into them once or twice a day. And that's how I got her. There is a rescue operation called Central Indiana Lab Rescue Association. It's CILRA.org, and they are a wonderful organization. You could go to their website. There was a video about Pearl on the website. I don't know if it's still there, but because now Pearl's 2 years old, they may have rotated it out, but I made a video when I first got her of introducing her to the family because at the time I had Max as well. Look at her grumpy little face. She's so cute. Oh, she melts my heart. And there's Pearl the athlete. I mean, I wondered to myself, I'm like, how long could she really go? I mean, I believe that she would go, and I think she would let me throw that ball to her till she died. But, okay, I think now, what are we doing? Oh, now I think I am going out I always, I go out once a day to, you can see Biggie coming now. Once I come out the gate, he knows I'm coming, and you can see him coming coming out of the paddock into the barn because he knows I'm coming. But I always go out once a day to spend private time with him without the dogs, because when I have the dogs, I have to be like alert about where they are. Not that I think they would run away, but I like to, because they're not on a leash and because there is a street out front, I still have to be responsible for them. So, and of course he gets his cookies. But anyway, I come out here once a day on my own just to, just to do a little bit of additional work. Normally, this is when I will empty his manure bucket, his manure wheelbarrow, because cleaning his stall, I get a full wheelbarrow per day that I have to dump. And I also just brush him out to get all the dirt and stuff off of him to make sure that he, I know it's got to make him feel better. One, I know he likes being brushed. I think it feels good to his skin. And I also just like for him to look good. I know he doesn't care, but I care. And if you keep him clean, it's a lot easier than waiting till he's super dirty and it's got mud caked all over him and having to spend an hour trying to do it. But if you just do it daily, it takes 5 minutes to brush him and get all the dirt off of him and make him feel good. And I think that, he knows that he is loved and cared for. Now, again, the horse is just an interesting creature in that I think Biggie cares about me. I'm spraying more fly spray on him. I really do. I think that he likes me, but I think that, like, if I left for a month and came back, he wouldn't, freak out like Pearl would. I think Pearl would be like one of those military videos where the soldier comes back from war and the dog just goes crazy all over him, showing him so much love. The horse does not really show that much affection. And I wish that it could, but unfortunately they just don't. However, there is just a certain majesty about them in that they are so calm and he's and that he's capable of he's capable of such violence, but he doesn't. That he contains himself. So I think animals just have a lot to teach mankind. I think we can learn a lot, even though they cannot speak, if we watch their behavior. Now, if you're watching his behavior right now, licking doorways is not recommended, but just the fact that he is such a majestic creature and such a powerful creature, and that he contains his power to only use it to escape. He would never, he would, I think if he was extremely spooked, he could accidentally hurt me. And it has happened a lot with people. They've been hurt by their animals accidentally stepping on them, or like, I know there's some people watching this that are horse people going, what in the hell are you doing with flip-flops on cleaning a stall? Well, I trust him and I trust myself, and it's a risk that I just take. His stall's a mess. Yeah, I'm just kind of giving you a tour of it, but you can see how the poop's gotten spread around because it's been a while since I've been out here. But notice one water bucket has hay in it and one doesn't. One he drinks out of and one he uses to dunk his hay in to make it wet. And I know not every horse does that, but he does. Now look what he's doing. He's turning around so that I will pet his butt. He likes his backside being pet because he doesn't. It's harder for him to reach it. So I get the brush. I know what he's doing when he turns around like that. He's asking for me to do it. So I'm going to get a brush because it's a lot easier for me to give him because he's so big. It's harder to pet it. But if I use the brush, I know that it feels better than just my hand rubbing on his fur. So this is a brush. This is a bristle brush rather than like the metal utensil that I do to get the dirt off of him. But again, it feels good to him because if you think about it, like, he can't reach his neck back there, and every now and then you'll see him outside, like on the fence post, like rubbing his backside. Look, he's coming back. He wants more of that. But eventually I just have to say, enough's enough, buddy. I got work to do. I can't sit and rub your butt all day. But dogs like it. Dogs like their butts getting rubbed too. Like, animals are just cute, but hey, like, we as humans, like, it's nice to get a massage, if you think about it. So animals that get treated like this, that get pampered, it's a good life for them and it feels good to them. But again, it goes back to that human-animal relationship that there's a respect there, that they know you are meeting some of their needs, and in turn, they are trying to help you meet some of yours, which is companionship and responsibility. The responsibility for him is it's a lot to take on, and but I feel like if you think about animals in nature, like if my dogs were just wild dogs, and if this was 1,000 years ago, and this land was native, these dogs would have been running wild, and they would have been eating rabbits and squirrels and anything else they could capture for food. And same with the cats. The cats would be eating mice and any other small rodents they could find, and the dogs would be trying to get the cats. The cats would be trying to get birds as well. The horse would just be eating grass. So interestingly enough, there are animals like cows, goats, horses, chickens that don't eat other animals. They just eat vegetables. They just eat we only eat vegetarians. Now, I'm sure somebody eats bear, but bear is not a vegetarian. Bears obviously kill other creatures too, and I'm sure somebody has eaten bear, but as a society, you can't go to the grocery store and buy bear or cheetah or cougar. You know, you can't buy these animals. They eat other animals. We don't go to the store and buy wolf or dog. We go to the store and we buy the vegetarians, and it may have something to do with the fact that they are more docile because they don't kill other creatures. They're easier to confine, and we take from them what we need. And it's one of the just brutal things about nature. I wish I didn't feel the need. Oh my god, I'm having to sneeze. Sorry. I wish I didn't feel better when I ate meat. I did not eat meat for a long, long time, primarily because I just hated the thought that animals had to die. But I was a vegetarian for 12 years, and I was like, if you can imagine, for those of you that have been with me for a while, you know that I pretty much say whatever I think. And so I tried to get everybody I knew to stop eating animals, and I tried to tell them about factory farming, and of all the things, all the people, not my mom, not girls I dated, not my best friends, not one person ever became a vegetarian because I was. And I just realized, like, I can't change the world. There's nothing that I can do. Now, me not eating meat did save some animals' lives because, you know, I wasn't eating them. But I just got to the point that I just accepted the brutality of nature and realized that I can either try to make my own suffering less, because it was suffering not to eat meat, you know, because I never felt as good. Like, I was much scrawnier when I didn't eat meat. Now, I know there are some like vegan bodybuilders now there's ways to get a lot of protein without eating meat, but I don't know. I still struggle with it. It's something that I struggle with, and I struggle justifying it. But this is a mother lode. You can kind of see the area along the soybeans where the manure has been spread. And I don't know if you can tell, but wherever the manure is, the soybeans are like almost double the height of the other one. So the farmer is happy that I dump this in his field. Now, it's much more difficult when the crop is growing. So like the summertime, I have to just do this on the edges, and right now what I'm doing is trying to find a spot to set the camera so you can watch me dump this wheelbarrow, but there it is. So I was able to set the camera down and have you see what I do. For some reason, this front corner did not get planted. I don't know if he didn't turn the planter on in time, or if it wasn't just shooting beans out. So this whole front, like, it's like maybe 20 by 20 area where I can just dump. And what happens is, like, initially it's a little bit piled up, maybe 6 or 7, 8 inches tall, but a couple rains and this stuff basically becomes like topsoil. It just turns into dirt because these wood shavings, that's what they do. It's like everything just kind of dissolves in nature. I watched a segment today about a dinosaur bone that got dug up, and they were doing a geothermal test sample, and they dug down 750 feet, and they brought back they got an 1,000 years, it would probably be 20 or 30 feet deep. It's just kind of weird how our planet works. Yeah, so now the bucket is empty for tomorrow, so I can fill it back up. Actually, I probably won't get through the rest of the day without at least having one more pile of poop in there. But again, it's just it's a small price to pay to alleviate the misery of one animal, and it just what makes me feel good. I know how much pain and suffering is in the world, but if I can help one animal, then it makes me feel better. And I think that that's all we can do. We can't fix the world's problems, but we can eliminate some of the suffering. And so that is what I do. I choose to commit my life to allowing several animals to live good lives, and in the process they make me feel good. They do. I like to give him a hug every now and then. I don't know if he likes it, but I like doing it. And it also, when you hold his neck, you feel like you feel the muscle of just how, I mean, he is solid muscle. I mean, I would say the body fat percentage of this horse is probably like 1%. He has nothing but raw muscle. And what's interesting, he's nothing but raw muscle, and he does not eat meat. So it's the strangest thing. It's like the animals eat grass and grains and turn it into muscle, and we eat their muscle and use that for food. But basically, since their muscle was previously grass and grains, it's like, I don't know, it's just strange. But I do just feel different when I don't eat it. So I don't know, I don't have the answers. I think if I had like a dietitian, I could get on some good regimen, for vegan regimen, but I just don't know. I eat the same thing every meal, so it's hard. When I was a vegetarian, it was just hard to eat the same thing. I would just get tired of like certain meals, and I was eating stuff like ramen, for example, which is so unhealthy. And I would do a lot of pasta dishes, and I primarily got my protein from vegan protein shakes. I was supplementing a lot to get my protein, and I just don't think it was as healthy. So that's why I ended up, I would say it's been about 7 years now I've been eating meat again. And right now I'm just kind of push brooming, like whenever he walks out of his stall, because they don't lift their feet up very high, he kind of drags shavings out every time he walks out of his stall. He brings shavings with him. So every day, at the end of the day, I just blow out his barn hall, because again, it's just about keeping it cleaner, and it just makes it more pleasant to just be in a cleaner environment. And I always start in here and blow out the room, because whenever I'm bringing in his pitchfork, I tend to get a little shavings on the floor in there. And then I always blow under his door, because I can blow the entrance of his shavings back a little bit. But you can just see how much dirt and dust accumulates just in one day. This is a daily chore. And again, I don't have to do this, but if I don't keep up on it, it's just gonna gross in there. I mean, it would be dirty, and I just think that it's just much easier to operate in a clean environment, and it doesn't take much additional effort to keep something clean rather than to go through once every so often and try to, make do a deep clean, which is, I don't know. That's just me. Some people might say I have OCD, but I don't think I do. I don't feel like I have a disease. I just feel like I'm clean, and if being clean is a bad thing, then I'm just happy to accept it. But I think maybe it's just another reason that has kept me from, I don't know, maybe that's why I'm doing all this alone. I feel like I am kind of a unique person, but I really feel like I know what I'm doing. It isn't like I feel like my way is the only way, or that I think I'm right and everybody else is wrong, but I just am so comfortable in my ways, and I know that it's not likely that a lot of people think and do like I do. So now that I've got him clean, now that you notice his stall is much cleaner as well. He's got a fresh load of hay there, and he likes to look out the window. And he's got, I'm just showing you his fan. It gives off good air. Usually you can see his hair blowing in the wind, but he's over there eating his, oh no, he's scratching his face. But alright, so it's probably, this is when I start kind of winding things down. It's probably 9 o'clock, but it's still light out. You can see the sun over there almost down completely. It's almost on the ground. I wish I would have looked over there and let you see that. I didn't even notice it till I'm now watching this back. But it's obviously, now that it's later in the day and the sun has set close to all the way, it's a little cooler too, so I can, shutting those doors not to have all the breeze come through. But now I'm gonna go back, and actually I don't know, I swing in here into the garage because it would be hard for me to make a video this long and not show you guys the NSX for those of you that have never seen it, and for those of you that have seen it but would like to see it again. I'm just gonna do a little walk around. This is a 1996 Acura NSX, and it is original. I have the original wheels and tires, but that's not what is on it. So I put aftermarket wheels and tires on it just so I could protect the original wheels and tires. But that's the only thing that is not completely factory stock about this car. It has 11,000 miles on it. Oh, there's one other thing that's not factory. I have two black rugs over the tan floor mats that say NSX, because when I get in the car, I don't want to. I'm just kind of showing you the reflection in this paint. It's just a great, even though it's black, it is such, it's in just such good condition. But 11,000 miles, that thing is pristine, and I love it. There's the wiggle butt dogs, and what are we gonna do? Oh, there's Edith, and I don't really recall what we're getting ready to do. I think I'm gonna sit down here and do a little bit. Oh, it's 8:57, so yeah, I was close on the time, about 9 o'clock, so it's 8:57. It's still that light, but now that it's, I got one last, I call this tucking him in. There was like a little bunny or something that ran over there, like a little baby bunny, and they chased it. Yeah, this is going out. This is what I call tucking Biggie in. I saw the moon, and it's so beautiful tonight. It was just a beautiful evening, so the sun has set. It's probably now close to 10 o'clock. just gonna go lock him in his stall and give him one last cookie. I give him 2 at a time. So we're gonna go tuck him in and then be close to calling it a night. You notice he's already in his stall. But if he knows there's cookies, he will come for them. They're his favorites. He likes carrots, he likes apples too. So I do occasionally give him those treats as well. You can see his hair blowing in his fan, so that's how you can see how strong that fan is. I do shut it off at night because it's cool enough at night that he doesn't need it. But I kind of scoop this hay out of his water because he start all over ducking his hay into it. Weirdo. But hey, we all do kind of strange stuff. I'm sure there's somebody that thinks I'm weird too. I'm just kind of topping off the water buckets because when I come out in the morning, surprisingly, like they're both half gone. The guy just drinks a ton. Also, it just makes the water colder. I think I've said that already, but he's keeping a horse with enough food and water is it's a full-time job. I mean, one horse takes a lot of work, and so like I've thought about just being fully retired, and you can get like up to $800 per animal per month. So if I had 2 more horses in there, which I could fit 2 horses in there because I have 3 stalls total, I just have to reorganize my stuff, then I could make an extra $1,600 a month, but I would have some additional food expenses. Pearl's peeing in his stall. Because he has water in his food, he splashes his food onto the edges. He always like cleans it off. But yeah, this is the last time he'll be tucked in for bed, and he'll be ready for sleep. Horses sleep standing up or laying down. Very rarely have I caught him laying down in his stall. Most of the time I catch him sleeping standing up. But yeah, there's a look at his eye. His eye is as big as my hand. I mean, God, they're just big creatures. Really big. If I were to ball up my fist, it's about what size his eyeball is. It's interesting to me too that these live to be, 30, 35 years old compared to dogs living 10 to 15 years. They're lucky. They get to live a longer life. I can imagine like the relationship that people had with their animals back when they had to have horses for transportation. Imagine like if one ever escaped from you or something. I mean, it's like losing your life. If you lost your horse, it's not like you just ran down to the horse store to buy another one. I mean, it's wow. Yeah, life was much harder in prior years. Part of this is like, I thought about fast forwarding through all these parts, but I think it's good for you to see, just like you do have to sit there and wait for the water to fill up. It isn't like you can fast forward your life if you're going to sign up for these types of things. This is the reality. This is how long it takes, to sit there and fill his water buckets back up and to spend time with him and give him attention and just be with him. It's important that you don't just, neglect. If you're going to sign up to have an animal, you need to sign up for the whole thing. They need all of it. They need food, water, love, attention, bathing, all of it. They need vet care. It's a lot that you're signing up for, but it is rewarding. They will give back as well. So that's my spill on taking care of animals, but you can see that it's a day in my life involves a lot of animal care. But I hope that there's some of you out there that kind of find this interesting and think that maybe it might be a life that you might want someday. There's that moon. I didn't know if I zoomed in on it now, but yeah, I do. I don't know if it's a full moon, but it's damn near full. I think it's always cool when there's like clouds in front of it, but it's I like the stars and the moon. I like looking out at the universe and just imagining that everywhere across the planet, everybody else is seeing the same thing. So for those of you in other countries, we all look at the same stars and moon. We see them at different times, but we all see the same ones, It just helps to put the size of the earth in perspective when this place seems so big, because there's so many of us on this planet, but we share so much. We breathe the same air. We look at the same sun. We look at the same moon. Look at the birds. They're the birds that live up on the light. You can see their poop on they have a nest up there. Those are barn swallows. And that's why I keep those barn doors cracked in the back, so the birds there's a nest up there as well, but you can't see them because the light's on. But sometimes I'll get up and Biggie will have poop on his back because the birds will poop on him. But they're cute too. Again, it's just part of nature. I love birds. They're so lucky because they get to fly, That part I'm jealous of. I wish I could fly. Not like fly a plane, but like really fly. When I was a kid, I used to dream that I could. There was this show called Greatest American Hero, and it used to give me dreams of being able to fly. I remember I would show kids at school that I could fly in my dreams, and they would like me then, I think there's something about success and having dreams of being able to fly as well. So if you ever had dreams of being able to fly, my guess is that when you get older, you're going to be successful. At least it worked for me. But yeah, there's the moon. It's so pretty. It's weird that when I zoom in on it, it makes the sky brighter. It's weird. But okay, what is next here? Now we're gonna go inside. You guys have been with me since the morning time. You went to work with me. I know now. Now we're going to go inside here, and what am I gonna do? There's Ting Tang. Now we're gonna go inside. I think I'm gonna do my hygiene, so I'm gonna go brush my teeth before bed. And I already brushed my teeth, so I'm just showing you that I use a water pick, and then I do floss every night with one of these, because I found them just to be so much easier to floss with than regular floss string. But I do floss every night because I just feel like it's important. Even after I brush my teeth, then I floss, then I use the water pick to rinse everything. So it's a 3-part process. Now in the morning, I just brush my teeth and water pick, and then at night I brush my teeth, floss, and then use the water pick. And it gets everything out from between my teeth. Now it used to, when I did not floss that often, whenever I flossed, it would make my gums bleed. But now my gums are calloused. I can floss so hard I'm methodical about flossing my teeth every day. I have an uncle who has periodontal disease. I'm running the floss pick now, so this thing just shoots high pressure water in between my teeth, and it just rinses. So like when you floss, you're just like kind of breaking stuff up, and the water pick does the rest of it and gets it all out and just gives everything a nice rinse. And so that's what I do. I'm also going to show you that I do at night, I do put minoxidil on my hair. So that's from a company called Keeps, and it's just because, look, my hair is thinner now. I didn't used to do this, but when my hair started getting thinner, that is something I put on my age spots. So I have a couple dark spots on my face, and I just put those on there, and it keeps them lightened up so they don't stay dark. But again, at my age, you do get a little bit of dark spots. So in the morning after I shower, I use a moisturizer, and then at night I put on that dark spot. I put that on my spots, and if I do it twice a day, they get really light. They damn near go away, but I don't worry about it that much. Just when I start seeing them get a little darker, then I do it. But back to my hair, I didn't used to use the minoxidil. Now, if you go back 5 years ago and look at my videos, you can see my hair is actually thicker now than it was 5 years ago. So I used the minoxidil, and I also have Nutrafol, which is a vitamin that I take, which is for hair. So this is bedtime, and this is every night. Pearl is pressed against my body, and I just have to pet her until she goes to sleep. She's like, hey, what are you doing? Yeah, there you go. She's so loving. But I tell you, this is what it's all about. You know, this is the love they give back. Look at her just like, I mean, how can you resist that? She like rubs on her own face. Like, I'm petting her and she's petting herself too. It just melts my damn heart. But when I can go to bed after a productive day and I feel like I was a good man and life's been good, that's just how I do it. That's a typical day for me. Now, sometimes I have to work a lot more than I work today, but this was a relatively easy work day. I probably only worked counting drive time, I probably worked a total of 3.5 to 4 hours. But that's not every day. Some days I do work a full work day. But no matter what, everything I did, I've got to squeeze in somehow. So you've got a good idea what it's like to be me. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope that you enjoyed getting to know me a little bit better. I appreciate all your support. I really do. You guys make me want to keep making videos because you're so kind. And obviously there's a couple haters out there, but I don't care about them. I do this for the people that like me because I like you back. Thank you for watching. Good night.